Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to talk about the Mokele Mbembe, which was a titan in Godzilla King of the Monsters. And this is actually a pretty cool creature, and I say that just because there is a real world version of the cryptid, not real world as in it actually exists, but the legend of the creature, the mythology, the folklore of the creature is a real thing. And Mokele Mbembe is located primarily in the Congo River Basin, and it's described by a lot of people as like a spirit, but if you had to give it a physical description, a lot of times you could summarize it as basically looking like a dinosaur, which is rather similar to how a lot of people describe the Loch Ness Monster, except for, well, that's more of like a plesiosaur or plesiosaurus, either one of them. I can't remember exactly which one's the proper terminology. While one of them is that, which is Nessie, the Mokele Mbembe is more of like a brontosaurus type of creature. So all things considered, it's pretty cool, but it doesn't really share that many characteristics on the surface like that with the Monsterverse version. Now, for that version of the creature, the Mokele Mbembe was located at Monarch Outpost number 75, located in Sudan, and according to the novelization, when it woke up from hibernation due to Ghidorah's roar calling all the various titans across the world, it found itself in an underground prison by Monarch, and it had to destroy the facility basically and kill all the agents in the facility to get its freedom. And upon being out in the real world, it resumed hunting just like all the various other titans did according to Ghidorah's orders, kind of hunting as a pack as the novelization describes it. Now, for the actual appearance of the creature, the one thing I found interesting is that little bits and pieces of how it's described, like the real world version of the cryptid, does actually find its way into this version of the Monsterverse Titan. Now, just to quickly go over some of those descriptions that various adventurers and researchers have used over the years when they're trying to find them and they're recounting stories they're told, one is very crocodilian in the sense where its kind of mouth is crocodile-like and it has a tail like a crocodile, but it has skin instead of scales, and its toes are armed with claws. And then it's also described in one other person's account as having a brownish gray color to it with smooth like skin, and its size is approximately that of an elephant's or at least a hippo's, and it has a long and flexible neck and only one tooth that's very long, kind of like a horn so to speak, with a masculine tail of that like an alligator, and a bunch of other things that is eventually also described with it as well. But if you go to the Monsterverse version of the creature, it's described as being gray with a reptilian kind of texture with its back and a head that resembles an earless elephant, along with tusks that point downwards instead of up. And each of the feet possess 5 claws, with front legs being slightly longer than the hind legs, and the tail of the creature is twice the length of the rest of the body. And the mouth opens up and closes like a crocodile with similar kind of teeth arrangements inside the mouth. So all things considered, this is a pretty cool looking and sounding kind of titan, and if you want to get into its quote-unquote abilities, the biggest one is probably the durability. I mean, the creature is able to easily go underground and then up into the real world and also swim from all accounts in the novelization, and the durability of the creature is as such that it could withstand bullets and also missile blasts, with really no negative effects being, I guess, described in the novelization when it is attacked in the novel. And also for other features about it with its tail, its claws, the tail is sharp enough according to the novelization to slice an osprey in half, and also it's strong enough to tear through a pyramid, which is bonkers. And the Mokele Mbembe is also able to grab moving targets and just easily eat basically anything because its teeth are so sharp that they can pierce anything, whether it's body armor, some assault gear, doesn't matter. If it's there, it can pretty much be eaten by the Mokele Mbembe according to how the novelization describes it. But all things considered, would you guys like to see more of this creature in a future installment? Or like me, would you like to see a novelization that kind of goes over every single outpost and every single titan associated with said outpost? But comment below your guys' thoughts, what do you guys think, and we'll see you guys later.